Take a moment to truly feel the truth of this statement. You are never under any circumstance alone on your journey. Think of the times when a chilling sensation raced down your spine, or a wave of absolute serenity washed over you during a moment of profound despair. Sensations that defy the simple laws of physics. These are not mere anomalies of your consciousness. They are tangible, deliberate forms of communication, direct attempts by a high-ranking intelligence, your spiritual guide or guardian angel, to make contact. Allan Kardec's methodical investigations, compiled through the patient and rigorous interrogation of various mediums, revealed that our relationship with the spiritual realm is not a distant, infrequent miracle reserved for saints, but a constant, dynamic interaction woven into the very fabric of our daily hour-by-hour existence. Your guide, a spirit of superior wisdom and boundless love, has accepted the sacred mission to watch over you, a task assigned by the Almighty to ensure your steady ascent toward moral and intellectual perfection through countless earthly trials. They do not employ thunderous pronouncements or sensational public displays to fulfill this duty, for that would violate the ultimate law of progress, your free will. Instead, their language is one of intense subtlety, vibrational resonance, and encoded symbols, meticulously crafted to honor your sacred sovereignty of choice. This entity is marching tirelessly beside you, observing your every stumble and every triumph, waiting for the precise perfect moment when the cacophony of your worldly ego and the noise of your material arrogance subsides just enough for the whisper of eternal wisdom to penetrate the deepest recesses of your soul. To learn this subtle, coded language of the spirit is to initiate a transformative journey where your entire life is suddenly revealed not as a sequence of random, chaotic events, but as a meticulously guided, divine curriculum designed for the soul's ultimate advancement and liberation. The guide is waiting for you to simply remove the mask of your own self-sufficiency and acknowledge the presence that sustains you, the sudden, uninvited physical shift. The spiritual guide often chooses the body, the immediate vessel of your incarnate experience, as the primary irrefutable channel for signaling their presence, using energetic shifts that instantaneously bypass the intellectual and skeptical filters of the rational mind. This manifestation is far more specific and instructionally focused than a vague sense of unease. It is a rapid, localized infusion of subtle fluid, the spirit's magnetic and protective touch felt distinctly in certain meaningful areas of the corporeal frame. Consider the intense, sudden and seemingly unearned heat that might unexpectedly spread from the core of your chest, precisely from the region of the heart center. This is a spiritual heart starter, a thermal certainty that radiates outward exactly at the moment you are about to give up on a crucial endeavor, acting as a spiritual defibrillator. This warmth, as Kardec's works explain, is the transmission of a superior, benevolent fluid, a form of vital energy from the guide's perispirit directly into yours, meant to reinforce your courage and vitality. Conversely, an electrical shudder, a profound, unasked-for shiver, may race like lightning across your arms or along the spine, an intense physical emphasis marking a moment of undeniable truth, profound spiritual proximity, or an immediate, energetic cleansing. Kardec teaches that the spirit and the physical body are connected by the perispirit, a semi-material envelope which serves as the bridge for all interaction. It is through this flexible, responsive intermediary that the superior spirit can act upon us without words, projecting precise protective impressions that the physical organism translates into profound, non-verbal certainty. These somatic cues are not random. They are their way of urgently affirming, "I am here, your path is correct and protected," or "Pause, immediate energetic danger lies ahead," forcefully seizing your immediate attention through an overwhelming energetic impulse that defies all common sense material explanations, serving as indisputable personal proof of the invisible realm's practical and immediate engagement in your reality. The invasion of unshakable peace in moments of crisis. The greatest trials of the human experience, moments of crushing sorrow, paralyzing existential fear, or complete material and emotional devastation, are, paradoxically, the guide's prime opportunities for the most profound and essential intervention, manifesting not as the physical removal of the problem, but as an overwhelming, absolute, and unshakable serenity within your soul. When every tangible circumstance points relentlessly to failure, loss, or total collapse, a powerful core stillness descends upon your spirit, a sense of absolute certainty and secure knowing that remains completely untouched and untroubled by the external storm raging around you. This profound calm, as thoroughly understood through the teachings of the spirits, is the direct supportive action of a good spirit upholding you, helping you to support your necessary trials with the highest moral attributes of courage and perfect resignation. It is not merely a psychological trick or conscious emotional resilience. It is a potent spiritual force operationally infused into your deepest moral constitution, a moral assistance that you could not generate on your own. This intervention strictly adheres to the principle of respecting your divine free will. The guide will not remove the obstacle, for the obstacle is the necessary lesson, but they will instantaneously infuse you with the moral strength, the spiritual fortitude, and the clarity of purpose required to endure the test and ultimately transcend it. This peace is the pure, unsullied voice of silent intuition, a direct whisper of eternal context delivered straight to the heart that deliberately bypasses the anxious, agitated intellect, offering an immediate spiritual comfort that is fundamentally indestructible, allowing your incarnate spirit to view the transient afflictions of earthly life with the calm, superior assurance of one who knows the eternal, regenerative context of their suffering. Recurring imagery and symbolic messages in sleep. The state of sleep, according to the Spiritist doctrine meticulously detailed by Kardec, offers a fertile, unpoliced, and highly receptive landscape for deep spiritual communication, as the spirit, during this period, is partially disengaged from the material body and is thus more free, more expansive, and can easily enter into direct, coherent communion with other spirits, particularly its guide. When your guide is actively signaling, they frequently employ the vast canvas of your sleeping mind, not with literal, direct messages, but with carefully chosen allegorical pictures, profound metaphors, and repeating, significant symbols that carry a lasting, peaceful, and meaningful resonance upon waking. These are often strange, vividly colored images or complex narratives that seem to lack a superficial logical connection, but carry an unmistakable, powerful emotional weight of peace, directive, or urgent warning. Your stubborn, waking mind, perpetually tied to the limited material perspective and the world of linear cause and effect, resists direct instruction. But in the freedom of sleep, the guide can plant symbolic seeds that slowly, surely germinate in your subconscious, leading to an eventual undeniable aha moment in your daily, conscious life. They use this nocturnal medium to provide salutary counsels, to warn you against imminent moral or material errors, and sometimes even to offer veiled, instructive, retrospective views of past lives that bear crucial relevance to your current challenge. The power of the recurring symbol is an insistence. The guide continues to write with this unique spiritual calligraphy until your moral intelligence finally decodes the message, transforming the seemingly random, fleeting images of the night into a crucial, personalized roadmap for navigating the complexities of the coming day. The strategic placement of people and events in your path, the concept of luck or coincidence, rapidly loses its credibility and logical hold when one understands the constant, profound, and benevolent relationship established between the spirit world and humanity. The guide is constantly utilizing the complex, interwoven tapestry of daily human life as a sophisticated medium for precise, strategic intervention. Your mentor is ceaselessly at work, subtly aligning the sequence of events and the individuals around you to generate necessary synchronicity, not with the intention of solving your problems for you outright, but specifically to provide the precise, intellectual, moral, or material impetus you need to arrive at the solution yourself. This sophisticated orchestration manifests as the seemingly insignificant 5-minute meeting with an old acquaintance that suddenly unlocks a massive professional or personal bottleneck, or the highly specific, seemingly random phrase heard from a passing stranger that delivers the exact moral or intellectual input you needed to hear at that specific moment. Kardec teaches us that the invisible world is densely populated, and the good spirits employ countless agents, channels, and intermediary spirits to exert their pervasive, guiding influence. The individuals and circumstances that cross your path are not random encounters. They are often consciously or unconsciously chosen tools, orchestrated with immense foresight and wisdom to challenge, affirm, or critically correct your direction. The guide fiercely respects your agency. They do not dictate your final choice, but they masterfully arrange the pieces on the board so that your ultimate choice is fully informed by the necessary, timely input, proving beyond doubt that the events of your life are governed by a superior moral and highly intelligent force, and not simply by the indifferent whim of blind, chaotic chance, ideas that arrive like a protective, sudden flash of light. One of the most immediate, clear, and profound forms of spiritual guidance available to us is the direct implantation of an elevated idea, a thought that possesses an inherent clarity, an absolute certainty, and a striking moral purity that effortlessly distinguishes it from the usual self-generated mental chatter. This is the precise moment when an idea, fully formed and profoundly insightful, erupts into your consciousness as if instantaneously illuminated by a sudden, intense, protective external light, often intervening to save you from a decision that, in hindsight, would have been immediately ruinous to your future or long-term progress. Your spiritual mentor does not speak into your ear in a conventional, material sense. They act directly upon your intelligent principle, the central core of your immortal spirit, by transmitting pure, high-vibrational thoughts and wise counsels into the deepest recesses of your mind's silence. This pure intuition, as it is categorized, is the guide's most common and primary method of communication, and those who have diligently cultivated the spiritual habit of internal quietude and reflection are the ones who can most consistently and reliably discern this voice from their own egoic desires. The message, once received, carries an inherent quality of profound peace and an unshakable conviction, a sense of moral and existential rightness that cannot be logically argued against. It is an act of pure, selfless love and guidance that seeks no personal glory or acknowledgement, acting solely for your accelerated moral elevation and enduring protection. A subtle but powerful nudge that, when correctly followed, guarantees a fundamental and lasting improvement in your moral and intellectual constitution, propelling you forward on your journey. Unexplained nostalgia and the memory of a home you never knew. The mentor's proximity can often trigger a deep, almost physically painful yearning within the human soul, a profound sense of saudade or nostalgia for a place, a state of being, or a definitive home that you have no waking, literal memory of ever having inhabited. This powerful emotional feeling is a significant and widely recognized spiritual sign. As the guide, a higher order, pure spirit, approaches, their pure, extremely elevated vibration resonates with your own soul's essence, intensely stirring up the deep, dormant memory of your true spiritual origin, the realm from which you originally descended and to which you are striving to return. This sudden, acute feeling is the spirit, the essence of you, detecting a powerful, undeniable spiritual truth that the rational, material mind is not yet fully equipped to process, a sudden, poignant ache that reminds the incarnate spirit of its grander, eternal reality beyond the confines of the current life. Kardec explains that the soul has lived countless past lives and belongs to a vast, eternal family of spirits, organized by moral affinity. The mentor's close presence is an echoing memory of this spiritual family, a powerful remembrance of the spiritual home and the greater, divine purpose that ultimately anchors your entire earthly journey. This unexpected, profound emotional surge is a call to accelerate your moral progress, to willingly shed the transient, heavy attachments of earthly existence, and to willingly turn your inner gaze toward the spiritual heights your guide already fully inhabits, serving as a powerful, non-verbal affirmation of your essential eternal nature and ultimate destiny, the focused energy on the body. Beyond the more general physical signs, the energetic body, or perispirit, serves as the compliant medium through which the guide can exert focused, highly specific physical influence, offering very precise, localized sensations that are deeply instructive. This spiritual touch is not vague, it is highly precise. A sudden, intense current of warmth radiating directly and consistently from the center of your chest, often referred to as the heart chakra, which acts as a powerful, non-verbal spiritual hug, an immediate infusion of emotional sustenance, when you are at your lowest ebb of despair and feeling most isolated. Conversely, the sensation might manifest as a subtle yet persistent pressure on the crown of the head or the nape of the neck, physical areas scientifically associated with higher perceptive and meditative centers, clearly indicating that a significant thought, instruction, or energetic shield is being transmitted, or that your immediate attention is being directed towards an elevated idea or perception. These physical impressions are never randomly distributed. They are charged with a superior, benevolent magnetic force intentionally designed to cut through confusion and solidly affirm your nascent internal convictions. By diligently learning to discern the meaning and timing of these recurring physical touches, which often either immediately precede a correct action or instantly follow an earnest, heartfelt prayer, you successfully develop a direct, non-verbal dialogue with your personal guide, recognizing these subtle physical phenomena as the spirit realm's definitive, loving signature on your fleeting corporeal experience. The repeating pattern that shatters resistance. In the pursuit of teaching a crucial lesson or urging a necessary, profound moral change, the spiritual mentor often consciously employs a strategy of overwhelming pattern recognition specifically designed to break down the formidable barrier of human skepticism and stubborn complacency. This involves the aggressive, relentless repetition of messages, be they in the form of specific words, key phrases, certain names, or highly significant numerical sequences that reappear across entirely disconnected media, conversations, and social contexts. You might hear the same highly unique phrase from 3 different people in one single day, or see a specific numerical sequence everywhere you look, on clocks, receipts, and license plates. This aggressive insistence is not the capriciousness of fate or a simple cognitive bias. It is the overwhelming, concentrated persistence of the spiritual world seeking to utterly destroy the mind's resistance and self-imposed blindness. The guide consciously continues to hammer home the exact same point, using the world as a vast instructive chalkboard, until your rational mind is finally compelled by the weight of evidence to admit that the sheer volume, synchronicity, and thematic consistency of the signal transcends all possibility of random, chaotic coincidence. Kardec himself intensely emphasized that good spirits seek tirelessly to lead us toward goodness and our necessary evolution, and when we are stubbornly refusing to acknowledge a necessary truth, often due to deep-seated pride, fear, or worldly attachment, the mentor will repeat the lesson through various external and internal channels until the soul is forced to acknowledge the irrevocable divine call to change its direction and priorities. Unexpected, symbolic sense and the presence of nature. The spiritual mentor frequently utilizes the pristine, immediate clarity of nature and the sense of smell, one of the most ancient, primal, and direct human senses, as powerful channels for contact, as these elements are less contaminated by the heavy, limiting mental processes of the material world. The sudden, unexplainable appearance of distinct, precise aromas, such as the pure scent of ozone following a non-existent storm, the delicate perfume of a specific flower not visibly present, or the familiar, comforting smell of a potent memory, is the guide purposefully and magnetically approaching your sensitive, energetic field. This phenomenon is known as the spiritual sense of smell, which captures the subtle energy and scent of the spirit making contact, which human logic instantly seeks to dismiss, signifying the purity and benevolent intention of the approaching spirit. In parallel, the behavior of nature acts as a visible semaphore. A butterfly landing directly and persistently on you in a moment of emotional turmoil, the persistent, unafraid presence of a certain bird species, or the unexpected bloom of a symbolic flower out of season. The guide uses these pure, beautiful, and uncontaminated forms to transmit a non-verbal message of love, assurance, or timely warning, strictly adhering to the principle that where there is moral and natural purity in the environment, the access for a higher spirit is immediate and direct, using beauty and subtlety as powerful, unforgettable forms of communication to pierce the veil of materialism. The powerful, inexplicable urge to extend a hand and help others. The most undeniable active proof of the spiritual guide's continuous benevolent presence in your life is the spontaneous, intense, and often completely inexplicable impulse to serve, to extend a hand, or to offer genuine comfort or material assistance to a fellow human being. This is often the guide purposefully using your soul and your physical hands as a direct, willing instrument of higher, universal love and charity. Kardec's teachings place immense, central emphasis on the moral laws, particularly the law of justice, love and charity, which serve as the fundamental, indispensable basis for all true spiritual progress and happiness. The guides know absolutely that the act of sincere, selfless charity is not merely a moral obligation or a fleeting good deed, but the single most potent, energetic bridge between the two worlds, a spiritual currency that immediately accumulates in the eternal treasury of the soul. When you feel that unbidden, powerful urge to help, it is your guide actively propelling you into perfect alignment with the highest universal law, understanding that in healing the other, you are simultaneously and profoundly healing yourself. In giving freely, you are receiving the most powerful spiritual influx and accelerated moral lesson. This impulse is the ultimate tangible expression of your spiritual instruction in action. A clear, unmistakable demonstration that your guide has successfully cultivated the seed of love within your heart, moving you past self-concern and into the higher, expansive orbit of true, productive spiritual labor and moral fulfillment. The totality of these signs, from the sudden magnetic heat in your chest to the persistent whispers of symbolic dreams and the urgent call to help a neighbor, converges on one undeniable central truth. The universe, far from being a cold, mechanistic or indifferent entity, is a moral living organism entirely guided by intelligences of immense, selfless love and perfect wisdom, and you, personally, are the constant, cherished recipient of their ceaseless, dedicated devotion. The ultimate sign, the transformative, powerful event that finally opens the floodgates of constant, effective communion with your guide, is the act of radical, profound, and complete forgiveness of yourself, of all who have caused you pain, and of the difficult, challenging circumstances of your life. When the soul finally and fully embraces this highest moral law, shedding the heavy shackles of resentment, self-reproach, and judgment, the mentor's presence becomes an overwhelming, undeniable, and immediate reality, flooding your being with a gratitude that requires no external reason and a peace that becomes your non-negotiable, permanent compass. This profound forgiveness is the highest spiritual attainment your guide can possibly celebrate, as it signifies that you have fully aligned with the central law of love and charity. You were led to this moment, not by random fate, but by an absolute, relentless spiritual guidance. Your immediate task now is to remain awake to the subtleties, to diligently cultivate the interior silence through prayer and meditation, and to use the awareness of your guide's constant proximity as an unceasing incentive for moral and intellectual elevation, knowing that the greatest, most urgent revelations they have to offer will only ever be heard in the profound stillness of a heart surrendered to eternal wisdom and universal love.